Good morning again, guys. Okay, so let's kind of talk about how some of this is going to affect everybody again. Hope you all saw the video this morning, did what you needed to do, and went from there. So, all right, let's talk about the energy because stories that came out yesterday, and obviously some of them were sensationalized, everything, but want to discuss it. Late last night, a lot of you were emailing me, making comments about the Zaporizhia nuclear facility being on fire and all this sort of stuff. Well, it was a training and education part of the facility. Okay, so it wasn't like we had a nuclear reactor or something. It was not Chernobyl. Some people thought that's what it was. This particular plant is down in southern Ukraine. Chernobyl is north of Kiev, okay, near the Belarus border. But where this does come into play, and we'll throw another speculation out there, but we've talked many times on how you bring a country to its knees, food and energy. Could this possibly be Putin's play? Yeah. Zaporizhia is, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I don't speak Ukrainian, is Europe's largest nuclear power plant. Okay, just to give you that as an idea, and it is now under Russian control. Now, let's think of what's also under Russian control. Most of the petroleum that Europe uses, okay? And I'll give you this just to give you an idea. Germany is 50% reliant on Russian natural gas. Italy's 40% reliant on Russian natural gas. Estonia and Finland, 100% reliable on Russian natural gas. Now, let's think about this. You can, if you're Putin, destroy the electrical use in Europe. I mean, we're starting here, okay? Taking out a nuclear power plant is big news. You can take out the fuel in good parts of Europe. I mean, there are some countries that don't use Russian natural gas at all. Spain and Portugal, for example, none. All right. So, you're talking about differences. But how does this affect all of us? Okay. Those of us who don't live in Europe. Yes, I know there's plenty of you that do. Okay. And I don't have to tell you anything about what's going on with your electricity prices and your fuel prices. But what's going on with those of us in North America? Canadians, I don't have to tell you, from everything you guys are telling me, you're talking $7 a gallon for gas right now. US, we're looking on average 4, people in California up over 6. We've all seen gas prices go up significantly here lately. Why? Well, let me give you this. Right now, as I'm recording this, and the market just opened about 10 minutes ago, okay? Brent crude is trading at 115 bucks a barrel. West Texas Intermediate's at 113. Now, just to give you an idea, that means the price of a barrel of oil is up 15% this week and 21% since the beginning of last week. Wonder why your gas prices are going up? Wonder why your propane prices are going up? Wonder why heating oil, you name it, is going up? This is where it gets scary with what's going on, guys. Again, everything going on in Europe, how does it affect us directly? Well, oil comes from all over the place, and most of it is shipped in. Thanks, Joe. If this is a drawn-out war, okay, for lack of a better word, oil prices are going to continue to go up. JP Morgan came out this morning and said if this lasts through the year, you will see $200 barrel of oil this year. What does that mean, guys? That means all those calls for $10 a gallon of gas in the U.S., I mean, what are you looking at from here? Doubling from here, nearly doubling from here, $16 in Canada. They're not that far off. That's a possibility, okay? This is how this is affecting us. Now, let's put into play. Nothing happened with Putin between 2016 and 2020. Wonder why. But boy, he was sure aggressive between 2008 and 2016, and boy, he sure got aggressive between 2020 and now. I wonder what those have in common. Okay. The United States is no longer energy independent. Thanks, Joe. So what has been Washington's response to this? How do they plan on getting us out? Get this. They're going to ask Iran to pump more oil. Now, explain this to me. What are the chances of Iran going, gee, let's help our good friends, the United States, that their economy doesn't go in the toilet because of all of this? Right. Okay. That's going to happen. All right. Other OPEC nations, let's talk about Venezuela. There's a big oil producing country. Who are they allied with? Oh, yeah, that would be Russia. Oops, got a problem there. Okay. So now you start looking at other Middle East countries who are not all that thrilled about ramping up the price of oil, or ramping up the production of oil, because remember, supply and demand. They're making more money right now, guys. This is the thing. They've got to keep their customers happy, but they're also looking at their bottom line. So what does that mean for all of us? Well, this is another reason why we need to pay attention to what's going on over there. Because remember, it's not just gasoline, it's not just heating oil, propane, whatever it is, okay? Y'all know, don't have to tell anybody anymore. Natural gas, nitrogen, fertilizer for farms, okay? How does that affect us? Think of anything and everything that you have that's made of a petroleum product. Everything we seem to use anymore is plastic, okay? Where does that come from? That's a petroleum product, okay? Who's the manufacturer of most of that crap? China. So now let's put one and one together. We have a huge oil problem, petroleum problem. That's going to cause the price of petroleum to go through the roof, which is also going to cause the petroleum prices that are used to make plastics go through the roof, which means all that Chinese shit that we buy is going to go through the roof. Guys, it's seriously crunch time economically for us. None of this is happening on our soil, but the mismanagement that we've had and the weakness that we have in the West with Potato Joe, Justin Trudeau, pick one of them, okay, is what's allowing all this to happen. And I know there's plenty of people who are going to go, oh, if it wasn't for us doing this, Russia would have never done it. Well, if it wasn't for the fact that we kicked Trump out of office, can't go there, this probably wouldn't be happening. Okay, so, depending on which box you marked, thanks. But the stupidity of Joe and the entire party right now is what's causing this. So what's going to happen? John Kerry, that rocket scientist that, we've got, the climate czar or whatever the hell he's called, he's still, even with all this is going on, is saying climate change is still our number one enemy. No, I hate to tell you this. China's our number one enemy, all right? And if Russia falls into China's hands, which is looking very obvious that it's going to here, we got big problems, okay? Economically, militarily, you name it. So my question to the Democrats, what's more important, saving the planet or living? Because if we all die, who cares? You can save the planet all you want, okay? But if there's nobody left, what's the difference? The cockroaches, they'll live. If people and animals aren't here, what you're doing, like we've told you many times before, it's a waste of time. But now the decisions that you are making, now this is where the rubber meets the road. Do you want to completely economically crush the world? Or do we want to let oil drilling go on again, fracking go on again, and get back to our energy independence, whereby we are not reliant on the Russians, the Iranians, the Venezuelans, the Saudis? Don't those all sound like great allies we have, right? They've got us by the balls, guys, and they know it. And if Putin goes through and can start wiping out the electrical, the fuel, God forbid, what happens if Putin doesn't stop and goes into Poland and starts going over the coal? Remember that long, cold winter we talked about, guys? Yeah, we're coming into spring. You got 6 months, because this world's going to look totally different by Labor Day. Pinball out.